What's going on, guys? Down at the water for this one. It's a little smoky out, but we'll make it work. What I'm going to discuss in this one is actually that guy right above my head there. We'll talk a little bit about the science of ascension. As many of you know, I'll be in a webinar actually later this month talking about it. So what I'm going to do is give you a little sneak preview and actually discuss some of the changes in the science behind it that are going on with our sun. So check it out. What's going on, guys? So what I want to do with this one is basically give you a sneak preview as to what I'll be doing in that Ascension webinar later this month. So this one I'm going to call Ascension Science, the Changing Sun. And I'm going to discuss exactly what's going on with that big ball of, not really fire, it's electricity that we got above our heads. So first, what is Ascension? Ascension is basically the quantum leap in human evolution. It's not just a individual process for each one of us down here on Earth, but it affects the whole Earth, the whole solar system, our sun, and in fact it's said to be a cosmic event as well. So it's basically the quantum leap in human evolution and the return of the so-called Christ consciousness, as many people have termed it. Now, this process of ascension has been described in many different ancient myths, over 30 of them, I believe, and all of them describe these times, not as being end times, mind you, no fear porn here. What they describe it as being a graduation effect, where we all achieve a state of light body per se, and then evolve together. So that's what Ascension basically is, for those who don't know. And more so in the lines of the topic of this video, what's going on with our sun? So what's occurring is that, like I said, not only is that ascension process a quantum leap for each one of us, but it's a quantum leap for our sun as well. And what's happening is that the sun is leaping from basically being a yellow star to a white star. As you can tell, I didn't really have the colors, so we're going to have yellow in green and then white in black here. I don't know how to write in white on a whiteboard, but it's going from a yellow star to a white star. And often when I discuss this in my public speaking engagements or talk to people about it, you know, especially people who are of the older generation, someone who can remember back to the, 70s or 80s, I discuss this fact with them, like, look at the sun. Do you think it's changing from a more yellowish to a whitish color? And they scratch their heads and they go, holy crap. That's exactly what I've been thinking for years. Thank you for saying it. So that's what's going on. And I'm actually going to discuss with you some scientific proof as to why it's going from a yellow star to a white star. And that proof comes by way of the reciprocal systems theory by none other than Dewey B. Larson. So I've made videos touching on this topic before. I'll see if I can make one of those like little things pop up right here that takes you to that video. If not, go and search it. But the reciprocal systems theory was developed by Dewey B. Larson in the 1970s, I believe, and what he discussed was a wonderful unified theory discussing space and time, the reciprocal relationships of each of them, how we have 3 dimensions of space and 3 dimensions of time because they're the same things, they're just opposites of each other, and it's a great work, right? Go check out that video for a more in-depth discussion of it if you'd like it, or again, check out that webinar I'm doing later this month. But in terms of our sun, what the reciprocal systems theory laid out is something that's completely ass backwards of what they teach us in modern schooling with what goes on with our sun, right? Oh, big whoop there, right? Big surprise, something they teach us wrong in schools. So modern astronomy teaches us that stellar evolution, they say our stars start out blue, right? Remember back how far ever back your schooling was, and remember when they teach you how the stars evolve and they go from big blue new young stars to like old red giants, and then they blow up in some kind of like supernova or become a black hole or whatever the case may be. it seems as if they're lost as to whatever happens, but they've told us that stars go from blue to red, right? Because of fusion, basically the fusion of hydrogen into helium within the star. But I'm here telling you that this is basically ass backwards and doesn't really make logical sense. So in the reciprocal systems theory, which the channeled text, the Law of One, has called basically the scientific theory that's as close to reality that we have here on this planet, the stellar evolution process actually goes the opposite way. The red stars are the young ones, and as the star progresses in age, it moves through the color spectrum, going from red to orange to yellow to white, then up to blue stars. Blue stars are the oldest stars, and then they explode as a couple types of supernova. That's basically it. So you can see how it's backwards. And it makes more logical sense this way because it's analogous to heating up a piece of metal. It's very similar to that. Whereas you're heating up metal, and as you start, when the metal's cooler, it's red, and as you're heating up the metal more and more, it becomes bluer and hotter. And that's how this process works. It does not use fusion as conventional science these days claims. It actually simply uses gravity and matter. That's all it is. Because as the big ol' space dust cloud over here begins to all swirl around and form into each other, all that's happening is gravity is pulling all the matter inwards, and then it creates that red star. And the red star is a big star. And as gravity gets heavier and more matter, or I should say gravity doesn't get heavier, but more of an inward push of gravity is had, more matter condenses, then the star gets smaller and smaller as it moves along the color spectrum. What we have now is a fairly small yellow star. I'm going to put up a couple pictures right here, one of the modern astronomy stellar evolution, and then right here of the reciprocal systems. You can see they're backwards, and the stars start out as big ones, they move smaller and smaller into the yellow and then the white spectrum, and boom, back up to blue ones. So what's going on right now is our star is basically moving from a class of a yellow star very quickly. You know, it's picking up more matter as our solar system moves into a more energetic region of space, and it will soon make a quantum leap into a hotter, brighter, whiter star. So there you guys go. There's a quick overview of essentially what's going on with our sun, the sun god over our heads, and it's moving up, it's changing, it's going through a quantum shift as we all are. So thank you for watching this video. This is crucial information, and again, I invite you to sign up for my webinar going on later this month, September 30th. I'll be presenting a whole lot more of this information and a lot more of that reciprocal systems theory because I feel that to be crucial. So thank you all for your support on PayPal, Patreon, Amazon, all that jazz, and I'll be seeing you soon. Done.